I don't know what that does. All right, we're gonna see what that does. Hopefully it records it. A lot of times I forget to record. So, all right, let's see if um, we wait on that one student, and then we'll get started. There's also one other student who should be here as well that I don't see, but so basically what one of the things that I want to kind of do with you guys is just introduce the course. I'm never going to lecture on Zoom because that's just crazy. And I will always have your lectures recorded in advance, right? And so really we'll use our sort of live meeting times to answer questions, to go over homework, whatever, to go over the lab stuff. And so what have you. Now, obviously, there may be a time where you can't, come to the live meeting, which is fine, which is why I'll always make sure I record, and then those recordings will be posted to Moodle, okay? So, but I do wanna, at least especially for like the lab stuff, I wanna make sure that we can come up with meeting times that work for almost everyone, or work for everyone with, of course, if you have to miss, you have to miss. It's not that big a deal because everything will be recorded. And this is an online class, so it's not really fair, to tie anyone to a certain day and time, okay? So I just wanted to say that off the bat. Now, with that said, I did put up a questionnaire for you guys on Moodle. I'm not sure that everyone filled it out. So basically, I asked you 2 questions. 1 o'clock, Tuesday and Thursday works for me. And then the second question asks, if those times don't work, suggest some other times that might work. So we can kind of talk about it a little bit now, but sometimes that gets a little weird. So if you haven't filled out that questionnaire yet, do that. So I may modify the time based on what everyone put in that questionnaire. Does that make sense? So I'm just trying to figure out what works best. Now, one thing that I was just thinking of, I don't know if earlier works for everyone, because I don't know if it's kind of weird to kind of wait around until 1 o'clock, if it's better just to do the meeting earlier in the morning, but keep it on the same days. What do you guys think about that, I guess? Actually, I could poll. Let's see if I can do let me see something. I'm gonna try to add a question here. Can you guys still see me or no?
Yes.
All right. Let's see. What the hell happened? Oh, wait. All right, let's see. Oh, forget it. That's going to take too long. We're not going to do that. If anything, I can add another questionnaire to Moodle. All right. So anyway, I guess real quick, what we'll do as we get started, like I said, turn on your camera if you have it on. I guess it would be nice to just sort of introduce yourself super quick. That was another thing that I asked you guys to do on Moodle as well, is to put in your name and kind of what your career goals are as of today. They could change tomorrow. It doesn't matter. I just kind of want to know where you guys are coming from. And so again, if you haven't done that, do that as well. And I will pull up Moodle in a second and just introduce Moodle and show everyone where everything is if we're not too familiar with Moodle. So I guess what we can do right now is just go through. I guess I'll kind of, I probably can see everyone's name. I guess I can kind of call you guys out by name. Let me know, again, tell us your name because I may pronounce it wrong. Tell me kind of what your career goals are, not just me, the whole class. And then also let me know how familiar you are with Moodle, all right? And and it's okay, we can then talk individually if you feel like you need a little more guidance with that. All right, so I'm just going based on I have gallery view on here based on who I see first. So Alicia, you're first on my screen in the top left corner. So why don't you just real quickly introduce yourself.
Hello, everyone. My name is Alicia, and my career goal is to be a physician assistant. And I am pretty familiar with Moodle because I've used it in school before. So
cool. That's awesome. Okay. All right, good. All right, who we got next here? Mariah?
Well, my name is Mariah, and my career goal is to go into being a dental hygienist. And
okay.
I am familiar with Moodle.
All right, good. And then, if you are a current student, what your major is? That's another thing. Mariah, what's your major?
Double major in allied health and in criminal justice.
Okay. Okay. And Alicia, you're planning on majoring in biology, right?
Yes,
Is that true?
biology.
Okay. All right. So let me know your major. I think we have a nice mix of different majors in this class, which is kind of cool. All right. Next, Sandy.
Hi, I'm Sandy. I'm a psych major and hopefully eventually either going into the PsyD program or the physician's assistant program.
Okay. That's kind of two very different.
Yes. Yes.
And so
It
what's your current major? Or are you currently a student at CSE? Or are you from
Yes,
another
I
school?
am.
Okay.
I'm senior in
Okay.
psychology.
All right. So you're kind of trying to decide what you sort of want to do. Is
Yes.
that okay? Cool.
Yes.
All right, cool. So if you have, and if anyone has kind of like individual questions that come up, you know, like about career stuff or about what you need to do to prep for physician assistant or that kind of stuff, feel free to reach out to me, you know, via email. All right, where are we next here? Kajaya, and if I pronounce your name wrong, please correct me. And then if I do it again, correct me again. It's not on purpose, but I hopefully can get names right since there's only 9 of us here. Go ahead.
Hi, I'm Kajaya. I'm familiar with Moodle.
Go ahead.
My major is I'm majoring in allied health, and I want to be a nurse practitioner.
Okay. All right, and your major is allied health. All right.
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right. Eloise.
Hi, my name is Eloise. I don't currently have a major, so I'm looking to do maybe an individualized major. I'm very interested in medicine, so I hope to go into the medical field. I don't know exactly what that looks like yet for me, but I'm definitely very interested, so I'm excited to be part of this course.
All right, cool. Thanks. Evan. Oh, do you have what? Can you turn on your mic, Evan?
I can, yeah.
And do you have a camera or no? You don't want to turn it on?
I do.
All right, there we go. Thanks. I like to see your faces. Then when I see you guys next
Yeah.
semester, I know who you are, right?
Okay.
All right, go ahead.
I'm Evan. I'm a computer science major. I don't have a specific goal yet.
Okay, that's cool. You don't have to have a specific goal. That's certainly okay. So for computer science, this is a requirement. What are you required to take? How many science courses? Just one or
2.
two? Two, right? And it can be what? Biology or chemistry or?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, cool. All right, thanks.
Okay.
Brandon.
I'm Brandon. I'm an individualized major with bio and allied health. And I will go to PT.
Cameron.
Hi everyone, my name is Cameron. I'm double majoring in business administration and computer software engineering. And my career goal is something in technology, but I'm not sure exactly what yet.
Okay. All right, cool. Thanks. Melissa.
Hi, my major is biochemistry, and I want to go into either pharmaceuticals or into toxicology.
All right, cool. So like I said, we have definitely a lot of diversity in our class and a nice mix in terms of different majors and different career goals. All right, so what I'm gonna do next, I'll introduce myself. So I'm Dr. Kaminsky. I am the director of the biology program at CSE, but obviously I also teach fundamentals of biology and other courses as well. I also am and still work as a neuroscientist at the Veterans Hospital in East Orange. So I do animal research. And then some of our students have also worked on projects related to some of the research that we do there. So obviously we can't do the animal research at CSE, but we can take brain tissue from those animals and work on that. So that's sort of the perspective that I come from, right? As sort of a basic science perspective, not necessarily from a clinical perspective. But with that said, I've taught anatomy and physiology before. I teach pathophysiology for the nursing program. So it's kind of a mix there. But like I said, I'm more of a scientist, right? Rather than a clinician, okay? So anyway, that's my background. So what I'm gonna do, does anyone have questions or anything like that before we get started? I guess, or concerns or anything like that?
No.
No, we're all, okay. So I'll ask this right now before we move on. Do we like the 1 o'clock time, or would we all sort of prefer to meet earlier? And I'll probably formalize that by looking at the questionnaires. And if you haven't completed that questionnaire on Moodle, I'll draw your attention to it in a second. Make sure you do. But does anyone want to say anything about that right off the bat? Kind of give me your opinion.
Is the class an hour and a half?
I mean, not necessarily. Like I said, I'm not going to be lecturing. The lectures are already recorded. So sometimes we may only meet, you know, for a half an hour or whatever. We're not really tied to being, you know, normally, right? If we were in a normal class, it would be an hour and 15 minutes, whatever, 2 times a week. We're not tied to that because it's an online course, right? And you guys are going to have lots and lots of listening to the recorded lectures in terms of filling that time. So no, it may, sometimes it may be longer, but it really kind of depends on what you guys want to go over.
So would 12 or like 12:30 be an option or no?
Like a little bit earlier, you're saying? Not too earlier?
Yeah, just a
Too much
little bit, because
earlier?
I have another class too.
Okay.
And it's kind of like,
All right.
it would
So,
interfere at some point.
and again, that's why really we can't, it's hard to have set times, right? That's why I'll always record and post, because if you have work or if you have another class, it might conflict. So I don't know. All right. So thanks for your opinion. Anyone else who wants to sort of chime in? Is earlier a little bit better? I was thinking like around 11 or something like that, in terms of earlier, 10:30 or
Yeah, I would prefer earlier in the morning too.
okay.
Yeah, I like 10:30 or 11,
Okay.
if that's works.
Okay. All right. So like I said, I'll probably, I guess if anyone has an issue with that, email me or let me know. But I think maybe moving forward, I'll change it to like 10:30, 11 o'clock. That way it's a little earlier. Maybe we're kind of done before lunch and then that's it, rather than waiting around till 1. But like I said, if somebody has a major conflict that's going to then introduce, let me know. Okay. And again, if you can't make a meeting, it's okay. The meetings are here though, just to make things a little more personal, right? Give you guys a chance to interact with me and also ask questions, but they're not mandatory, right? Because again, this is an online class and it's not fair to tie anyone to one given specific time. I will say it's super helpful if you attend the meetings, right? It's going to help you do better in the course. And so, you know, I highly suggest that we attend as many as we can. And that's why I want to kind of come up with a time that works. Okay. Is there anyone else want to give an opinion, or we're all okay with that for now? If you don't want to say anything now, like I said, you can email me. And again, if you haven't filled out that questionnaire, please do. All right, so what I'm going to do next is I'm going to share my screen. I'm going to pull up Moodle. I'm glad everyone is familiar with Moodle. Again, if something comes up, like in terms of individual help with Moodle or with anything, just email me and we can set up an individual meeting as well, okay? All right, so let me pull up Moodle and we'll go from there. Oh, I got all sorts of stuff up on my, 1 second. What the heck? All right. Well, I can see my, all right. Can you guys see my screen? Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So Eloise, were you able to get into Moodle or not yet?
I'm gonna check again. I'm not sure that it
All right.
put me in yet.
It may take until tomorrow morning, like I said in the email, just so you know. And then if you're not in by tomorrow morning, then I would send an email. But if you really want to get in, you're anxious, if you email the help desk, they can probably manually put you in. Okay.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Yep. All right. So in terms of, right, Moodle, again, I think we're all familiar with navigating through Moodle, which is super helpful. That's one thing kind of off the list. In terms of the way I sort of organize everything here, I'll always, I mean, I already did this, right? I sent an email through the announcements, right? So then that way, if you miss an email or you can't find it in your inbox, you can always click on the announcements. And I did send it twice just because there was a couple people that registered after I had sent the initial one. You can obviously then click on it and see what I sent out, okay? And so again, the few things that, if you haven't done this already, right, add your introduction to the question and answer forum and then complete that questionnaire, okay? And then we'll talk about a few other things that are sort of upcoming, but those are the sort of two initial things to do. And please interrupt me at any time, guys, if you have a question. Okay, so the question and answer forum, I always kind of separate these out. Like I said, these are announcements. That's essentially the way I'm going to communicate to you guys via email. What I usually do is if there's any, you know, in terms of like what's up and coming, like on a Friday, I'll probably every Friday, I'll send an email out to you guys saying this is what you should have done for the week, right? In terms of the lectures, this is what's due next week, just so you guys kind of have that all, it's all sort of clear. There is a lot of material squished into a short amount of time. So really, you're going to be working on this material or something through the course, like most days of the week, right? If this was run live, if we're talking about a lecture and a lab class within, you know, for six weeks, we would be meeting probably 4 days a week. Okay. So it is a lot of material, just so you guys know. All right. So question and answer forum, that's where you guys would put your introductions, right? So you just click discuss this topic and then add them there. I know we already did them live, but just add it there as well. Just also so that I know, you know, where the question and answer forum is. Okay. So we'll use that same forum in terms of asking questions about the material, right? So if you have a question, you know, about something that I covered in a lecture, put it in the question and answer form so that I can answer it there so that everyone can see, okay? So try not to email individually for things like that. Let's try to keep it in that forum. Is that clear to everyone? Does anyone have questions? All right.
No.
Okay. All right. Now, so this is the class meeting times. This is that questionnaire that I drew your attention to. So make sure you complete that just so I know we're all sort of good. And like I said, I'm probably, I may add another questionnaire just to confirm that we're all okay with the 11 o'clock start time, but definitely fill this out anyway. Okay, in terms of the syllabus is posted here. I just have it in as a Word document. I didn't put in the syllabus book or anything like that because I think that that's annoying, but if you like that, I apologize, but let me just pull up the syllabus. I am not gonna read through the syllabus. I trust that we can read through the syllabus. I don't know why I have a spinning wheel. What's going on here? I trust that we can read through this. What the hell? Sorry, I don't know why that's doing that. It's really pissing me off. Okay. Just make sure you guys read through the syllabus on your own. And here's another thing to do. Sorry to give you guys so many things to do right off the bat, but there's a little 5-question syllabus quiz. Again, it's not about like testing you on the syllabus so much as to make sure we know how to go in, complete the quiz, and we're all right with Moodle essentially. Okay, so make sure you guys do that. I believe I updated due dates. Nope, I forgot to update the due date for that. So I'll update the due date for that quiz essentially by Thursday. Make sure it's done. All right, so let me try to go back to the syllabus. So what I did on Moodle, guys, is I kept the course divided up into 14 modules, essentially. I'm sure we kind of all see this. We all know that you can collapse these, right? Just to kind of make it easier to read. And so if you're looking for something and you're like, oh my God, I can't find stuff in module 4, sometimes it's because it's just not open, all right? But on the syllabus is where I basically have the dates in terms of what modules we're gonna cover what weeks, okay? So I'll show you that. Okay, right, so again, make sure you read through the syllabus. I'm not gonna read through the syllabus for you. Let's just look at the, one thing before we look at the schedule. The textbook. Did anyone, I mean, some people may have the textbook because they already have they took Bio 113 in the spring or what have you. It's the same textbook. You can find the textbook pretty cheap. In fact, just through our bookstore, right? If it links you to Amazon or whatever, I know there's cheap versions of the textbook, like for $35, I think I saw. Do you necessarily like absolutely need the textbook? No. Is it helpful? Yes. Okay. Does anyone have questions about the textbook? No? All right. So anyway, I just wanted to put that out there. So in terms of schedule, right? I have it broken down this way. Modules 1 through 3 are this week. So right now I only have the chapter 1 recorded lecture up. I will put up chapter 2 and chapter 3. So basically all of the assignments related to chapters 1, 2, and 3 also the syllabus quiz, those other things that I just talked to you about, those are all basically due by next week, okay? And I did update the due dates for almost everything there. So just so you know. Also, our first lab is this week as well. And so I will record something for the lab and I'll introduce that on Thursday, okay, when we meet again, all right? So I'm kind of trying to keep it as Tuesday being lecture time, not lecture time, but answering questions about lecture, going over homework, and then Thursday being dedicated to lab, going over the lab assignment, answering any questions with that, introducing the lab. If I need to do something live with you, I would do that on Thursdays, okay? So Tuesday lecture, Thursday lab is the way that I'm going to organize that, okay? Some of these lab topics might change slightly. It depends. Some of them I may have to get into the lab and actually film myself doing them. I don't know if that's always going to be possible, so I'll kind of, each week I'll tell you exactly what we're doing for lab, all right? But that's basically the basic topics. And they're the same topics that I cover, you know, during the regular semester, all right? So we obviously are missing out on getting hands-on experience, but we're gonna get the most, you know, out of this as we can. All right, questions about the schedule, guys, and how things are divided up here? No?
No.
Okay. Grading scale is there. Grading breakdown is here as well. On Moodle, I have the grade book set up, so you will always be able to see your grade moving through the course. Obviously, you know, in the beginning when you have no exams, your grades, you know, gonna look different or whatever. But basically, everything is always set up in Moodle Gradebook. You can see your grade at any time. If you have a question about it, please ask, okay? There are some times where I have to make like slight modifications to Moodle because sometimes the gradebook, you know, something's not inputted in there quite correctly and sometimes grades might change based on that. But for the most part, it will always be completely accurate, okay? And so that's why I say if you see something or your grade doesn't seem right, let me know, because sometimes it's just, I don't know, some stupid assignment was turned off or it wasn't weighted correctly, and then I need to go and fix that. So is that clear to everyone? Are we familiar with Moodle Gradebook? Do most of your professors use it, Mariah?
Yeah, I'm familiar with it, but they don't really use it as much.
Okay, yeah, I used to not use it, but I feel like it's super helpful for everyone, just so that it's completely transparent, right? You see all your grades there. You see exactly how it's calculated. There's no secrets, okay? So that's what I mean. If you have a question, you let me know and we can meet and I can explain it to you, okay? All right, so that's the grading breakdown and the grading scale. Attendance policy is kind of like, I don't know, doesn't really apply. In terms of attendance, it means you're going in and completing the assignments that are due for that week. You're logging into Moodle. It doesn't necessarily mean that you've been in every single class meeting, because again, that's not, I can't really require that, okay? So just so you know, but this is the sort of campus-wide attendance policy there. Now with that said, I can check Moodle logs, super easy. If I see that you haven't logged in a week or whatever, that's gonna be a problem, right? Then there's an attendance issue, right? And assignments haven't been submitted, then it's an attendance issue, but it's also an issue with, you know, just completing the course successfully as well, okay? Questions about that, guys? No? All right. Okay, so like I said, look over that syllabus, but again, I was just sort of drawing your guys' attention to the schedule. And then let me just pull back up Moodle. I just want to show you guys where that recorded lecture is for chapter 1. Okay, so module, again, we're doing modules 1, 2, and 3 essentially this week, right? So chapters 1 through 3. Chapter 1 recorded lecture is there. It's up. If you click on it, it's a link with the PowerPoint slides and my voice. It's longer than I thought it was, so it's almost like an hour and a half long, just so you guys know. And then I will post chapters 2 and chapters 3 by Thursday. Okay, so all of those will be up. And then again, it means you need to complete these assignments within these modules essentially by next week. Okay, so like I said, all the due dates are there. So for this scientific method class activity, this is one that is due actually Thursday. Okay, so I want you guys to watch that chapter 1 lecture. At the end of that lecture, I talk about the scientific method, and then you guys are going to complete this assignment. So if you open up the Word document, and we'll sort of open up Thursday's class talking about this, and then I will introduce lab at that point, okay? And some of our first lab or kind of lab assignment, right? So let me just pull this up just so you guys can see what it is. But basically, it's just an exercise and sort of coming up with something that you're interested in, and then basically, you know, stating a topic or problem that you're interested in, and then writing down some observations about it, just something that you might know by experience or by reading, and then a hypothesis and an experiment, okay? So I give you guys an example at the top, and then you guys are basically gonna write in, there's not really any wrong or right answer to that assignment, right? Does anyone have questions about that?
No.
No? Okay. What did I just do? I'm off of my, okay. All right, so that's due Thursday. Like I said, we will start off Thursday's class talking about kind of what we wrote there. If anyone wants to share, I'll talk about my example, and then we'll talk about lab, okay? So the first topic for lab is metric system. It's basically metric system and microscope, okay? So I'll have something recorded, or I will introduce something to you guys and just say, hey, that recording will be up tomorrow or what have you, and then there'll be assignments that are tied to it. All right, but I'll explain all of that on Thursday. Chapter, right, there's an assignment for every chapter. So chapter 1 and 2 and chapter 3 assignment, those assignments are all due on Tuesday, okay? And then we basically start that next module next week, and we move on to chapter 4. So it is very fast moving, okay? And so that's just the way a summer course is, because it is only 6 weeks. All right, so questions, guys. Concerns, anything? No? All right, so there are also quizzes on here. There's a chapter 1-2 quiz, okay? These are all, I mean, the assignments, the homework assignments and the quizzes only count for about 10% of your grade. They're all there meant to help you, okay? The exams obviously are weighted a lot higher. And on the exams, there will be essay questions that basically sort of can't be Googled, right? That are more kind of thinking kind of questions. I have to do it that way. Otherwise, you just can look up every answer and everyone gets 100, and that doesn't help anyone. But the quizzes and the homework assignments are super straightforward. It's just like, go find the answer, put it in. It's just meant to have you guys review the material, okay? So you probably have to spend a little time kind of on your own going through Moodle, going through the assignments, right? The first thing I would do is listen to that chapter 1 recorded lecture and do the scientific method activity. And then, like I said, I will then have uploaded chapter 2 and chapter 3. So then you can kind of move on to those chapters, okay? And then complete those assignments like I mentioned. One other thing I want to mention, and I do mention this in the recorded lecture, is another thing that I have you guys do is basically complete your, it'd be awesome if I could find the, I always have a review sheet for every exam, right? So if you look here, exam 1, I have scheduled during module 5. I'll tell you exactly when the exam will be available. Usually for like a span of 3 or 4 days or something like that, you guys just log in on your own and take that exam. I'll give you exact dates probably next week. But there's always a review sheet for every exam, okay? So if you click on that exam 1 review sheet, basically, I believe I have this here. It's an outline, okay? And so when you guys are listening to the lectures, you should be writing notes in this outline, in this review sheet, okay? Helps to draw your attention to what's gonna be on the exam, right? And to clarify things, find out kind of where you aren't so clear on something and you might need to ask a question about it. And then there's actually an assignment that's due before the exam that you hand in that completed review sheet, okay? So that's what this assignment is here, picture of completed exam 1 review sheet. So you'll always have that. And so exam 1 is chapters 1 through 4. So you'll always have that same review sheet out, either handwriting notes or typing notes, whatever you prefer. Okay. And like I said, I talk about that in the recorded lecture as well. All right. So any other questions right now, guys?
No.
No? We sure? All right. So I'm going to end this meeting. I'll stay on. So if anyone has individual questions or anything kind of they just want further clarification on, I'll stay on. Be, you know, more than happy to answer or just talk for a few extra minutes if necessary. But like I said, what I would do, you know, next, get familiar with Moodle, look and see kind of what you need to do, you know, for those first 3 modules, modules 1 through 3. Start listening to that first recorded lecture, and start going in and doing some of the assignments. And then I will post a recording for chapter 2 and chapter 3, okay, by Thursday. All right, guys. So, and then I'll update you and email you in terms of what time we're going to meet on Thursday, okay? Just once I sort of confirm with everyone and just make sure everyone is good with it. But I'm thinking 11 o'clock or so, okay? In terms of a slightly earlier rather than 1. All right, guys? So I'll see everyone Thursday, either at 11 or at 1 based on everyone's feedback. And like I said, we'll start off the class talking about that scientific method activity. So we need to make sure that that's done by Thursday. All right. I'll probably send another email to remind you guys of that. Like I said, I usually try to send sort of emails, you know, at least once a week, but I may be sending them twice a week for you guys to sort of follow up each time we have a meeting in terms of what's due. Okay. All right. So take care, guys. Like I said, I'll stay on. If anyone has questions, just let me know.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Dr. Kaminsky,
Yeah.
when we open like an assignment, like a quiz or an exam, it's gonna have like a time frame, right?
Yeah, it does. So you'll see for the quizzes, usually if it's like a 10-question quiz, it's 10 minutes or something like that. But I usually give you, you know, like 4 days to do it. But once you log in, you have 1 chance to log in and you have about 10 minutes or 15 minutes depending to complete it. And it's the same thing with the exam. The exam is usually an hour and a half, 2 hours, depending on the length of it.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Thank you.
You have another? Okay. Hi, Sandy. Do you have a question? You're muted. Wait, oh, go ahead. There you go.
Oh, sorry about that. No, I don't have any well, actually, yeah, I do have one question.
Okay.
Usually I like to put my notes in Google Sheets. So do you want me to just submit my notes to you in Google Sheets, or do you want me to also fill out the
I mean,
other form?
no, well, so, okay. So your notes, meaning you would just have your own blank page that you're taking notes as you're listening to the lecture, you mean?
Right.
Yeah. I mean, what you can do is open up that review sheet in Google Sheets maybe and just take your notes underneath it or something like that. But it's fine. Either way, I'm fine with it as long as you're submitting notes.
Okay.
So yeah, if you wanted to kind of just have the blank page and have your own notes, make your own outline, you could submit that. So that's okay.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right.
Great.
All right.
Take
Thank
care.
you so much.
Thank
You
you.
too. Stay well.
You too. Bye. In here. What in the hell? There we go.